The Hemsley estate was never truly empty. Even when the owners died in a tragic fire a century ago, the townsfolk whispered that the house still watched those who dared walk near it. Yet it stood, untouched by time or nature, perched on a windswept hill like a faded photograph, rotting, silent, waiting. When Lydia Croft arrived, she didn't believe in ghosts. She believed in restoration. The inheritance Lydia's uncle, a reclusive historian, had left her the deed to Hemsley Manor, a massive, long-forgotten mansion in the Yorkshire countryside. She hadn't seen him in over 15 years. She was between jobs, between apartments, and perhaps between realities. So she packed her things and moved in alone. The house smelled of mildew and burnt dust. Entire wings were sealed off. Only one room had been freshly unlocked, the one upstairs, near the east wing. Its door was wide open when she arrived, like it had been waiting. Inside, faded yellow wallpaper peeled in long, curling strips. Floorboards creaked with every breath of the wind, and carved into the wooden bed frame was the name Mabel. She didn't think much of it. Not that day. The yellow room Lydia chose the wallpaper room to sleep in, not for comfort, but curiosity. At night, the room changed. She noticed the wallpaper seemed to move in moonlight, like it was breathing. The curls of peeling paper resembled fingers when seen from the corner of her eye. The patterns had strange symmetry, like mirrored faces. One night, just before she turned off the lamp, she heard it. Scratching. Faint. Behind the wallpaper. Like tiny fingernails dragging along plaster. She knocked on the wall. The scratching paused, then scratched back. Mabel. She found the name, Mabel Hemsley, in the estate's ancient records. A child. Died in the house at age 11. Fell down the east staircase, it said. But the east staircase had no railing, and no signs of damage. Digging deeper, Lydia uncovered journal pages. Some handwritten by her uncle, others older, in fading ink. She doesn't want to be forgotten. She only appears when you're alone. Do not sleep in the wallpaper room. Another line had been crossed out violently. She follows if you leave. Shadows at noon. It wasn't the nights that became terrifying. It was the daytime. At noon, shadows grew too long. Objects cast silhouettes in directions the sun didn't allow. She saw her own shadow reach up the wall one afternoon, stretching farther than it should. When she stepped back, it didn't follow. Later that week, she heard a laugh, soft, girlish, echo from beneath the floorboards. The mirror. Lydia brought an old mirror into the room. She wanted to prove to herself she wasn't going mad. That night, she sat in the yellow room and watched the mirror. At 3:12 a.m., the reflection changed. She was still there, but so was someone behind her. A child, with half her face peeling like wallpaper. Wide white eyes. Smiling. Lydia spun around. No one. But the mirror now showed just the girl. Lydia was gone. She smashed it. But even in the shards, the reflection remained. The map. In desperation, Lydia opened the sealed east wing. Inside were children's belongings. Dolls. Shoes. Names carved into the wall. Dozens of names. Mabel. Elsie. Clara. June. Each with a year. Each one missing. No record beyond the house. At the center of the room was a wall where wallpaper had been removed completely. Beneath it were faces. Drawn crudely. Etched in charcoal. Wide, screaming mouths. One of them looked like her. The crawl space. She found a trapdoor beneath the bed. Inside, a crawl space that led behind the walls. Cobwebs. Broken toys. Scratch marks. Then she saw it. A nest made of crumpled wallpaper, children's clothes, and teeth. In the dim light, something moved. She fled. But when she tried to leave the house entirely, every window was bricked from the outside. Her car wouldn't start. Her phone showed static. The house was sealed, and she was now part of it. The rewriting. The wallpaper room no longer stayed still. Some nights, the patterns formed writing. Don't forget me. Stay with me. I liked how you screamed. She awoke one night pinned to the bed. Hands, dozens of them, pressed through the walls. They didn't bruise her. They held her down gently, lovingly, like a mother tucking in a child. Then the girl stepped out of the wallpaper itself, peeling like a fruit being unwrapped. Mabel, smiling, with Lydia's face in her hand. Silence in the hill. Weeks later, a new couple arrived. They were part of a private historical society, tasked with documenting the Hemsley estate for preservation. The house welcomed them, calm, quiet, still. The only oddity was a name carved on the bed frame in the wallpaper room. Lydia.